Back, everyone. Thank you all so much for hanging out, for remaining with us for this little Q&A celebration here at the end. We should go around real quick because there are faces that are not up here every week for you all. So we should go around and everybody can just very quickly let us know who you are and what your role is within Into the Motherlands. And we're going to go we'll go in the order that I see them on my screen, which is of course not the order that you see them on your screen probably. But that means that first up is, gonna wait till that mug goes down, Abria.
Oh, beans. Hi. Hi, I'm Abria. I play Koza, the Hyanol Fixer. Hello.
Hello, Michael.
Hi, my name is Michael. I play Eli, the master of finesse and shade.
Yes. Leonie.
Hello, I am Leonie. I am the producer, stream producer.
Hooray! Yeah. DJ.
Oh, hi. I'm DJ Knight. I play Akimba. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Brian.
Hi, I am Brian. You hear me at the top of the episode each week, and yeah.
Tanya.
Hey, I'm Invicta, your Hyanol Blade Keeper.
Gabe.
I'm Gabe Hicks, game developer and working on world design as well.
Yeah. Christina.
I'm Christine Ariel, and I play Commander, Captain, otherwise Silent 919.
Vanessa.
I'm Vanessa. You know me as Pleasantly Twisted. I'm the person who drew all the characters that you see on screen, and I'm the art director of the Motherlands project.
Yeah, and we just had someone join us, so I'm going to say, hi, everybody, I'm Eugenio. You might know me as DM Jazzy Hands. I've been the storyteller, and I'm working on some of the development for the book. And we just had Nestor join us. Nestor, you want to let us know who you are and what your involvement is with Motherlands? He's not can't hear? Okay. We'll come back. Fantastic. As soon as Nestor joins us, this is Nestor, our wonderful podcast producer.
Hi,
there you are.
I'm Nestor, also not Rich.
Great.
I think your mic hates you, sir.
It does. It does. You're breaking up and stopping and starting a little bit, but that we're very happy to have you join us. So we've got some questions up here that we'll go through that you all have put in the chat. Continue to read the instructions given to you by mods. If you want to submit a question, we'll get to as many as we can. And I think let's get started. So the first question is for the cast of the show. And I will adjust the question to use the terminology that we use for Motherland. So what was it that drew you all to your culture and profession choices for your characters? Did you immediately have ideas, or did you have to sort of sift through what background we gave you and decide from there?
Personally, I think coming in, I was super eager to Hyanol as they were all cool. I was gonna be the plant people whose name's Solansi at first, just to round out the group. But my personal fun character wise is getting to be a foil for someone else at the table. So it felt like a fun idea to be a Hyanol to learn a little bit more about the sort of base culture around Vitoa and, bother the delightful Tanya a little bit with just a complete shenanigan of a character.
Yeah. Michael, were you about to pop in?
Yep. Yeah. So how I picked my, the background and profession, Warlock main, that's most people know that. But Misajai are a little bit, it wasn't the direction I thought I was going to take Eli, but because I first selected I was going to be Misajai, and then kind of thinking it through and then figuring out what their history and past were. I went with Lightbringer because they want to make sure that they are someone who's very holistic about creating communities and ensuring that the community is always nice. So that's how Misajai happened, and that's how Lightbringer happened.
Yeah, I loved those little details as we found out, as we got to meet your two partners and we learned about the bag last season. I loved all of that. That's great. Anybody else?
I knew I wanted to be a Masalian immediately. Like, wasn't a question for me. And Biopriest just sounded awesome. Like, I've coded before, so the idea of someone who could see the body as code, need it. Give me. It's mine. It was already there. Like Masalian, and I can see code in everything. Let's go. Good game.
Sure. Yeah. Tanya or Christina, any thoughts? Yeah, go ahead.
So I knew that I wanted to be Montaigne because the idea, one, if you've ever listened to like The Arc Android by Janelle Monáe, you're like, ooh, wouldn't it be cool to live in this world and kind of be cybernetic? And I loved everything about that. And then it was like, oh, I can also weaponize my braids. Like they said yes to that immediately. And I was like, heck yeah, man. And just kind of went for it. I'm super excited about it. And with the Biopriest, much like, I almost called you a Kimba dude. Much like this is like DJ said, I'm like Dikemba. The idea of being able to see code, and Silas sees code and music and notes, and I think that she hasn't really like played with that too much outside of healing Costa, but it's just cool like knowing that that's in her back pocket and being able to just kind of create this character who, I don't know, like can have a lot of layers because you can install a lot of layers.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Tanya, any thoughts that you want to add?
Just that I wanted something different and something different than characters I play elsewhere. And then I wanted to change how we were portraying Hynel anyway. So I flipped the trope on its head and decided she would be a fighter, but still smart.
Yeah, I love that. I love one of my favorite things about Invicta was we spent in session 0, we spent that time describing the Hynel culture, and then you were like, great, I'm one of those, but not like that, and just really set the tone for like, that's the point, right? That's why we're creating what we're creating, and one of the points is that yeah, I give you guidelines, but tell your stories, create your characters, and I've always loved that since that very first session 0. Great, okay. This is a fun question that is so hugely wide open that it's for any and all of us who feel you have something to say here. What's one piece of advice that you would give aspiring TTRPG developers that you wish someone had given you? And yes, that is as open as you want it to be. But if you have thoughts based on this process, based on what's been different about this process, or not, anybody have?
I can only speak to the art side of it.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as too many references. There's still things, even at this point, as someone who's been here since day one, that I look at and I reevaluate and I go, I wonder how it would have looked if I drew it this way. Maybe I could have drew it that way. There's no such thing as too many references. Anyone who tells you you shouldn't use references, you yeet them into the sun.
I love that. I love that. Do you can totally say no to this, but do you have like specific references and things that you used for some of our character art that you like don't mind telling us about?
I pulled from everything and everywhere. If it's that kind of vibe of what I was trying to do, it came along for the ride. You belong to me now. You're mine now. All the references, bring them to me.
I love that. Absolutely. It's all out there. Why not? Anybody else? I think for me, one of the things that I, coming into this project, I had the good fortune of sort of being in pretty early. And so being there and having conversations with Tanya and with B-Dave about what this was, and having that direct line to the two of them to say, you know, tell me more about like the feel, the vibe, what are the core conflicts, what kind of stories do we want to tell? And those can be I found those questions as I got them answered to be incredibly important. So my bit of advice to you, I guess, would be like the very first thing to do when you sign on to a project is make sure that you're on that page, right? That you are there for the vibe, and that within that, you know, then once you have an idea of what you're going for, then, you know, create and iterate and be ready to hear no from your development leads. That's okay. But if you have an understanding of the feel, the style of what it is that you're working on, that makes notes and rewrites so much easier. And for me anyway, it was great and it was clear, and I had access to those answers very early on, and it's made things much easier for me. Anybody else got thoughts?
Trust that the people you're working with want to see your idea come to fruition, and trust that when they tell you things, they are telling you things because they want to see you succeed and not because they don't like your ideas. And if you cannot trust those people in that sense, don't work with them. I've worked with a lot of people that I could not trust, and I got paid, but I will never work with those people again.
Sure.
The people that I work with here, I am still here because I trust them and they trust me to do my job. And if something is wrong, they're telling me it's wrong because they want us to succeed. They don't want me to succeed. They don't want them to succeed. They want us to succeed.
Yeah, that's great.
Like when I was even talking to you, Eugenio, when we were talking about some of the stuff like last season, there was never a moment when I was like, he's gonna worry that I'm trying to take over the show. I'm like, if he asked me for something,
want it?
Yeah, no.
No, I don't want to give it to you anyway. But
if he asked me for something, it's because he wanted my opinion, and I'm like, all right, give it. And then if anything, or he's like, I'm good, then he's good. It's a sense of trust in building a world and design.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. And I trusted Gabe. You know, I knew he had great ideas, and I knew sort of where his focus had been so far in the process. So I knew I could toss him questions and collaborate that way. So yeah, great. Anybody else?
From a production side, 2 screens is not enough. You need 3.
I love that. Yep. Great. A bit of practical advice among all our loquacious nonsense. I love it. Great. Anybody else?
I'll jump in. I think the big thing is to love the thing that you love in a story instead of trying to write the thing that you think is what's wanted. I'm a huge fan of like the thing that you're passionate about will come through and will get other people excited. So like as you're playing that initial game of like what's expected from me, what do I want, what does my table want, what do people that will like eventually consume this content in this game want, start with pleasing yourself first. And usually that carries through in like a really organic way and doesn't seem like false and pandering, and doesn't, the moment you hit those like inevitable speed bumps, you can fall back on like, you know, a deep and obsessive love of coinage to carry you through. I'm looking at you, Patrick Rothfuss.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's work, but doesn't mean it shouldn't be enjoyable work or shouldn't be interesting to you. And yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Anybody else on this one? We got plenty more. Don't worry. All right, we got a couple of more specific questions. So this one's for he's gonna give you a face. This one's for Brian. Tell us about narrating that intro and how did you feel, particularly the first time you heard it played back on the show to you?
Narrating it was a lot of fun, a lot of re-records, a lot of pauses, a lot of swear words as I re-recorded. And a lot of like, wait, how do you say this? How do you say that? I don't want to mess up anyone's name.
Yeah.
Hearing it back was very, like, people will say like, oh, I don't like watching myself. I don't like hearing myself. I don't even really like hearing my own stuff back. But hearing it on the first episode when it was used, and then hearing like the redone intro, it's cool. Even if I have like meetings to go to, I will leave a window up so that I can hear the intro, see everyone's face, and like see you all say hi, and then actually have to do things. But yeah, it's always nice every time I hear it.
That's awesome. For my part, I was the one sending copy back and forth to Brian and sort of taking his edits. No, it was great. And he did some passes, sent me some edits, was great about me being real anal retentive and being like, great, could you, so like each of these things should be like, have its own space in this series, and was like the most obnoxious vocal director, but he was great and he did it and he fixed it. So I must have said something coherent. but yeah, it was super fun to work with you on it, I have to say. So thanks. We have let's see. Oh, I lost the question I was going to ask. Oh, yes, here it is. This viewer said, my friends and I love the way food is part of this show and how it helps to build out the world. For those of you who were particularly food focused, how do you think about and come up with the food descriptions that you gave us during the show?
I got it. So first things first. Rest in peace, Dr. Phil. Anyway, usually I like putting food in any TTRPG I'm playing because it does so well to anchor anyone who's either playing the game or who's viewing the game. It just anchors you so quickly and so so strong into the story, because it's something that, you know, a good meal or a meal that has some sort of culture behind it kind of almost does so much for storytelling in such short of words. Like, you know, you say it's this item or it's that item or it's made this way, that it immediately just kind of gives all the kind of context and background of what's going on. So it's something that I do a lot. I forgot what the original question is because I was first going with that. Oh, why, like how the food we come up with. Like I said, like when you heard me say like the ceviche in the beach place, like I would think that's what it was. And depending on like how tropical it is there, and like you explained that there's like a volcano and stuff. So I kind of thought of different things they would incorporate into that dish. And I believe either the cast and the audience would agree, like it does so much to anchor you into the location. So would recommend.
Yeah. Well said.
As far as the food is concerned, for me, I am 1, always hungry. 2, I'm Southern, and for me growing up, food has always been like a sign of love or comfort, or like it's just something that it truly does. It brings people together, like to bring people together around the table and have that time. Like that, like for Sila, it's a way of showing affection. It's like, even if I can't vocalize it, I can feed you. I can like give you that level of comfort, even if it's like, it's just something that's known. Like, even if it's not a comfort for me, it's like her love language. And
yeah,
like part of like being able to come up with those different things and foods, it seems like it's just silly, but it really is like just a genuine sign of affection culturally.
I think that's such a cool thing, particularly for Montsegene, right? Like and in particular, one who is still learning about emotions, that you want to speak care to these people. And how do we do that? Well, fuel, I guess, seems right. I love that. Anybody else got,
I'm just going to sprinkle in there that I don't think I've come up with any food. It's all been come up with for me because people know the foods that I'm eating all the time. Like I'm always like, just like in the background, like, oh, snaps, what you know about this barbecue though? And then people are like, rude. And I'm just like, but it's delicious though. So like Gosh Puppies, lobbed up. I didn't do anything about that, but it was there.
Oh, yeah.
And they were delicious.
You did that.
I don't think I'm the one who said Gush Puppies, or like you said Gush Puppies. I just knew that they were there. See, you even have the actual lunchbox. See, that has nothing to do with me. You had the lunchbox. You said it first. I'm just here experiencing it with everybody else. And I just ran with it because like, holy crap, I would love a hush puppy with a bunch of cheese inside it. Yes, please and thank you. And then a wheel of cheese? Of course I want a wheel of cheese. Like if somebody handed me a wheel of smoked Havarti or smoked Gouda.
I just want to poke in and say I missed this apparently, and I'm upset.
It's mine. What happened?
Yeah, Havarti Gush Puppies, and you ain't saying nothing?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay.
I mean, not yet, but...
Was it the French Tuck that made the Gush Puppies, though? Like,
yes.
So, like, don't hit me up for that. Like, if I had actual Gush Puppies, do you know that would have been posted on every corner of the internet? Like, I would have posted that everywhere.
Right. You
I would literally have a plate up
you're
right now, like, oh, what you know about these Gush Puppies, though? Like, I would be eating them right now.
I can't even judge because I'm sitting on cam eating. So, let me just mute.
I spent season 1 and season 2 perpetually hungry because of you lot until season 3, when I started making myself up a little picnic plate because otherwise I can't make it through the sessions.
I love it.
Also,
I made so many peanut butter sandwiches on breaks. It's not even funny.
What'd you say, Michael?
I was gonna say, pro tip for all you tabletop in real life gamers out there: if you're hungry, or you just want the session to end really quickly, just start busting out all the food things you can in game. So people are like, "We gotta wrap this up so we get some food." You're welcome.
That's a real deep cut, but a very true fact. Like, okay, rocks fall, I die or I don't. I gotta go. I need some almonds.
I need brisket right now, and y'all are still talking. I want to talk about brisket for 20 minutes. Like it's. See, also, I don't have brisket. I just felt like y'all know what I'm saying.
Also, I'm mad at Christina. I'm mad at Christina for how good the breakfast she described was.
Oh yeah.
Like 2 sessions ago, I lost my mind. My brain went to hell because it wanted to eat everything. I was like, please just.
You have to understand. Like the Irene protocol is my grandma Irene. And my grandma, who we called Ma, she used to like when you would get up for breakfast at her house, and mind you, I had like 13, 14 cousins that are going to be down to the house in Alabama at my grandma's. And we would have like, she would make rice pudding, but there would also be like fried chicken, and there would be like fried bologna, and it was like all of these different things, but everything worked together. And it was just like the coolest thing in the world for me. It was like you would wake up and you knew you were going to get, it's probably why I don't like breakfast now. I'm like, no, I need like chicken, but like it was amazing. And it was always like the best thing. And so like that was the sincerest form of love, was my grandma Irene's big breakfast, which is a very real thing. And almost all of those things except the creme brulee are items that we would have for breakfast. And on that note, I have to go. Thank you all for an amazing season. It has been an absolute joy. I appreciate the support, the care, and just y'all and this experience. I love you. I'll see you later.
Bye, Christina. Thank you. Awesome. Well, now that we're all hungry, let's ask a different question. Let's see. Our next question is for I just noticed your name in Zoom, Nestor, which I love. So the next question is actually for you. And one of our viewers wants to know what goes into the editing process when you're turning a live unedited stream into an audio podcast.
All right. So typically, aside from DJ making me very hungry,
you're welcome.
In the fucking background when I'm editing, I'm like, God damn it. Yeah, my ISP is trying to kill the love here.
Childish.
It involves a lot of audio channels, a lot of different tracks, and a lot of trying to get it all synced up. And a lot of background instrument.
Yeah, I'll bet. Sorry about how many fans are constantly going in my space. Yeah, and it's always impressive to me how quickly you're able to turn it around. I always forget to send you titles and synopses, and you're ready with it. So we appreciate you very much.
I try not to forget to ask you, because I know if I forget, and we're both fucked.
Yeah, that's true, I guess. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Let's see. Oh, we got some new ones down here. Oh, okay. So I guess this one is for the cast again. What's something? What is another character type that you would like to play if you got a chance to play a different campaign of Into the Motherlands and you could build a new character? What would your next character be? I guess this doesn't have to just be for the cast. Everybody should answer this. What's your character gonna be? What's your Motherlands character next? Mine would be a Solansi. I'm trying to think outside my box because so not a Lightbringer, which was my first instinct. I think mine would be a Solansi, which is the plant people. A Solansi, we have another profession called a spine ripper, which is sort of a hand-to-hand combat, ready at all times, sort of fighter pugilist type thing. I think that would be exciting with a plant person.
I want you to know.
Yes.
I had the exact same thought.
No!
Could you not? I was like a Solansi spine ripper. I was like, I was waiting for it. Same brain.
Yeah, so I love it. I'm so happy. What else? Who else? What y'all got?
Took my answer.
All right, so next time it's oops, all Solansi spine rippers. Got it.
Yep.
I'm
I wanted
down.
to do like a
Yeah.
big scary fight, a little fight guy, but I was like,
Venus
this
spine
isn't
traps.
really like a fight. Like the thing we're doing is less fighty. So don't come in and be like, I'm here to do a hit.
Anybody else got non-Solansi spine ripper character desires? No is, I guess, okay.
I'm trying to just find stuff because I'm trying to find the things. But yeah, no, the spine stuff sounds great. That's
see,
that's probably the move. Or drop shoulders, drop soldiers.
Drop soldiers. Yeah, we're still working on that one too. Yeah,
I'll do that. Am I not supposed to say some stuff? I don't know.
No, you can talk about it.
Actually, so I think Pact Master would be interesting as well. Having more of like a system of like controlling extensions, especially like if like we talked about this. I'm stuck on Solansi. I like plant people. If it was like a Solansi Pact Master, maybe it's like narratively changed so that the creatures they control are just plant versions of these creatures. They function the same, but then there's a little bit more narrative to it. It's like they sprout off of me, and then when they hide, they go and lay in my shoulders or my backs and like pods. It's a whole weird
cool
thing. Yeah,
I love plant people. That's awesome. Yeah.
Like, little plant birds.
Tanya, did you have one? I saw you unmute.
And my hand just
I know. I'm watching. I'm watching.
One we haven't done yet is the 10s and 2s. It's a pilot.
Yeah.
I have no idea what culture though, but and I would do it and hopefully could escape my stream's habit of giving me a hard time over game driving.
That's funny.
Of what?
Driving in games.
Nice.
But I have no idea what culture. I don't know if I'd stick with Hynol or I don't know if we could get away with it. Be one of our unplayable adversary races, but I could get to do it because I made it up.
That's right, you did. Oh, I kind of like that.
Touché.
I like that. Anybody else got character desires? Yeah.
I would be a monster gay 10-2.
Oh, sure.
Because you give me the ability to be speedy and silly with the ability to hack into whatever electronic thing that I'm controlling with speed. I would be worse than Koza, like breaking everything down. Like it would be literally like, let me take whatever this is, I'm gonna make it better, and we're gonna fly. Like you're gonna hate me, but we're gonna get there way faster than anybody ever thought. It would be a problem. It would be fantastic. I am here for it.
Somewhere Koza just fell in love with the concept of a character.
Also super interesting. A Mr. Jai fixer. Just very strange, but I would do that too.
Oh, yeah. I like that too. Anybody else got combos you want to toss out? All right. If you think of something, let us know. Let me see. Oh, here's an interesting question. If anyone has feelings on it, but I feel like this is maybe a Tanya question. The question says, the history and story of Mansa Musa is being more widely taught in history class in the US. How do you feel about educators possibly using Motherlands as an example of how he's influenced modern culture?
Well, it's already happened. Leeds Law School used Motherlands as part of a symposium and discussion on anti-colonialization in law. So I'm fine with it, long as they ask us first and don't just go off on random tangents and get everything wrong like early articles did about the game and about our show. I'm fine with it. We've been reached out by educators already that want the book that doesn't quite yet exist. So.
Yeah.
My only gripe is people go, well, Mansa Musa was a slave driver and all this other stuff. And I'm like, I think you need to go back and reread history, because even I, the worst history student ever, knows that he was an emperor before the Middle Passage.
Right. Yeah, and of course, we take a very real person in history and a very real expedition, right? He did send expeditions across the Great Western Ocean, as he called it. But then from there, I like the way the question is phrased, using it of how he is influenced, not that we are trying to do a historical representation of the Emperor Mansa Musa in our backstory. Yeah, definitely. Let's see, what else do we have? For anyone who ever described this, and I guess maybe, Vanessa, you still there? because this one might be a little bit you too. No, all right, we will come back to that one. Let's see. Oh, there's a question for me. What sorts of challenges did you have in regards for putting together the overarching story for Motherlands? Well, one of the most exciting things, and also I will say one of the most difficult things, was putting together a coherent story arc that was being built upon a setting that is not finished. There were moments where I likened it to laying the track as the train is barreling down which is that sounds like a terrible thing, and there were times where it was certainly a challenge, but it's also really exciting, I have to say, to know that I had folks like Gabe that I could reach out to and say, hey, I need a thing for this, and I want to be sure that it fits in with our design concept, or in the moment during sessions, in the moment during sessions, just sort of saying, well, we're going to say this, and I have done my part for seasons and seasons, telling the audience that whatever happens on stream is not necessarily canon, so we're just going to cross our fingers and say it. That was, I think, the biggest challenge, and sort of the most unusual, and in a lot of ways, one of the most exciting things about doing this show is creating it and having it created around me as we went. Hi, welcome back. I have a question that is for everyone, but I think you might have a particular answer for, which is, anyone who interacted with them, how did you get inspiration for and come up with the Toan fashion and clothing styles?
Well, there's a couple of things that go along with that. So that's partly why I said the thing about always use references, because I knew what vibe we were going for, and it was semi-challenging because you wanted something that was sci-fi but anti-colonialism, but then also Black. So as a result, you needed to really sit down and think about how you wanted to intertwine all those things. And what I wound up going with was a lot of my references were much closer to traditional African clothing and kind of those colorations and those tattoos and designs, but then making it tech. And so I think the first character I drew was Scylla. Yes, Scylla was the first one out the gate. And she really set the tone, because I have to agree with Christina. Extensions as a weapon is a way of life, literally aesthetic. And also as team, faux dreads, braids, locks, all of that. I'm like, yeah, if I could have just a razor blade in my hair at all times, I would 100% be on board with it. And someone would be like, isn't that dangerous? That's the point. That is the exact point that's being made. So that really kind of helped set the tone for everything. And then as other characters came in, it was like, okay, we're going to stick to the African style vibe, but make it tech. I got you. And then for a lot of the posing and gesturing, we actually, fun fact, because a couple people came in when I was drawing them. A lot of the poses and stuff that we use for those characters, my boyfriend and I did those poses.
No, that's so fun. I didn't know that.
I literally, I kept doing reference, and I looked and I was like, none of these people are posing the way I want. None of them are posing the way I want. I'm just going to do it. And I literally took an old wire that we have, and I kind of jimmy rigged a pulley system for my camera and set a timer. And I was like, okay, I don't like that. Okay. No, that's too Vogue. Okay. And it's like this full reel of just me making all these awkward poses. And even at one point, my boyfriend walks in and is like, what the hell are you doing? And I was like, it's art. I can't explain it past that. It's art. Amazing. It's art. It's art. So it was a fun process though. And looking up all the different things about cultures and kind of intermixing all of them, and then also cross-checking and making sure it was predominantly African cultures and not an intermixing of some colonized BS was really interesting. And that being said, yeah, there's a lot of interesting creations out there that are wrong. They are wrong. Please double check your resources. Oh my God, they're so wrong.
I don't know why it tickles you so much when you do that, but yes. Yes to all of that. Yeah. That's cool. Oh, I love that we learned something. I didn't know you did the poses. That's great.
Yeah, I want to say I did the pose for Scylla. I also made the pose for Ili. Paul was hired for the pose for Ikemba because I was like, I need a stocky person. And he just looks at me and was like, wow. And I was like, and then I think
awesome.
that Kosa is the only one that I didn't formally do the pose. I think I posed most everybody.
Awesome. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else got thoughts or feelings about outfits, fashions, clothes that we created in game or that we detailed in game? You gonna do it? You gonna do it? No. Okay.
I guess. I mean, I gave it over to Vanessa. So like, obviously, we had some, stuff from like the garb that was from African garb that was like very traditional, and then a lot of the other things I pulled from my character. Some stuff was from like movie stuff, some of the details, and some was from
I think your clothing,
some anime stuff. So
yeah, I think your character's main outfit kind of tied back to ceremonial garb specifically.
Yeah,
it was more like a ceremonial style garb. I think the only one that was kind of different was Christina's, but also I have to be honest, Christina's outfit kind of touches close to my heart because it looks kind of steampunky, and I'm like, oh, I'm steampunk garbage too.
Yeah,
friends. And I just kind of drew it and just kind of kept my happiness to myself.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got time for one more, so we'll do. We'll try and be brief and let as many people answer as possible. But for all of us, so for those of us who are in the cast and we're on screen every week, it can be about the stream. But for the devs and the rest of us who are involved in other ways, it can be any part of your creative process that you've had. What is something that you were really pleased with? That was a total surprise to you, that came out of an unexpected collaboration or something surprising coming up in the stream or in a conversation you had with a dev, something that you didn't plan on that you're really happy you got to create. I know we got to take a minute to think. That's fine. I've known this was the next question and I don't have an answer, so.
Mine is kind of straightforward because for those who don't know, there's many people here who watch me on Twitch. They follow my Twitter. They know I'm angry about everything. But this is the first project where I ever actually have been like assigned as the lead artist. And so seeing, and I might tear up a little bit too, so I'm sorry. Seeing like the dreams of 10 and 12-year-old Vanessa come true was a really big thing. It was a really big deal. And I remember when I first got brought on, it was like traumatizing because I looked and was like, oh my God, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. Like, this is serious. What if my art is garbage? What if people look at it and they go, oh my God, she's horrible. So to actually push myself to that limit and do a lot of things I'd never done before for these characters and see it come to life and see it get such good reception, that was, it made me look at my art career a lot different.
Good. You deserve every bit of every nice thing that anyone's ever said about your art, because truly it's stunning and has been such an inspiration to a lot of the story that we've told. So thank you. Now I'm doing it. Who's next? Damn it.
I will go because it's quick and easy. When I chose to play Eli, them being non-binary was interesting because like it just made everything in my head just check boxes, not check boxes, but it just seemed to be so seamless for them to be non-binary. And then also shout out to everyone who watches the show and appreciates Eli and supports me playing them. All the non-binary folks, I really appreciate all your support. And yeah, that's been an awesome experience. It's continued to be an awesome experience, and I love coming back to playing them and just telling more of their stories. So I think that's the one thing that I kind of and I got a surprise, like it just working out to be so seamless, and then getting some advice and help from other cast members to be like, what do you think about this? And everyone was supportive. So I think that was awesome.
Yeah. Anybody else got something? Leonie, please.
So the intro, when it starts, it's got the scrolling credits and then the character artwork pops up. And the moment that I heard the recording from Brian, I was like, I have to do something. Unfortunately, at the time, my After Effects had broken and just decided not to work. So I was like, well, I can't animate anything. I was like, what can I do within the confines of what I have and OBS? And literally, I remember just listening to it over and over and counting. I literally just counted numbers, and I timed everything to my Stream Deck with like programmed delays. So that intro, it's not actually animated. It's literally just turning on and off a scrolling text wheel. It's turning on and off an image slide reel, and literally it's just like, okay, when I press this button it resets, and when I press this button it goes live. And so that was I'm really proud of that, because it was made within limitations, and I just love how it looks and how it just goes in seamlessly with Brian's excellent recording.
I remember your After Effects breaking when you were trying to do that. I don't think I realized that was your solution, and that's kind of amazing. So thank you for that. Anybody else got stuff?
Having somebody actually ask me, have you heard of this is someone I know who always asks me if I need help learning D&D. They said, oh, have you heard of this show Into the Motherlands? And I'm like, yeah. Have you watched it? And they're like, no, but I'm gonna watch it later. And I still have the text message from them saying, wait a second, that's you?
I love that. That's awesome. That's so great. I love that. I got a couple of those too, because we had Twitch was part of our deal with Twitch was that we had front page for a good chunk of our episodes, and twice I had friends from high school that I have not seen in literally at least a decade, if not two, text me or email me out of the blue and say, "You're on the front page of Twitch." And I said, "Yeah, you watching?" And they were like, "Well, no." I said, "Well, watch."
The number of people who have not talked to me in years, that was just like, there's this RPG called Into the Motherlands, and I wanted to know if you knew about it. And I was like, I do. And they're like, okay, we'll just cut to the chase. Is that you? It is. That's me. I had grade school friends hit me up for it, and they're like, oh my God, you're a mad lad. You did it. You actually made drawing into a career. And I was like, yeah. Yes.
Why is there an actually there? Why is actually in there? What is that about? Like,
the history of it is really bad, because I used to be, when I started drawing, all I drew was Sonic the Hedgehog. So when the day broke that I actually started drawing people, they're like, oh, okay, she's gonna get past this now. And then having a project where I have to draw high and all, I'm like, and yet life comes full circle. Interesting.
I love it. Anybody else got fun surprises? Yeah. I saw you with that. Yeah, oh yeah. You can't tell that I'm pointing at you because you see my screen. I'm tapping you. Do you not feel that?
God, I hope not.
Yeah, right. No, please say no.
Just thinking about what Brian and Vanessa was saying, and you were with me at Tribeca, having all the people that saw that movie or that
Cypher, don't leave me hanging. Don't leave me to be the one that cry by myself. Oh my God, you're gonna leave me hanging. I can't believe this.
I love you.
Yeah, that was a pretty great day, I gotta say, getting to see that movie with you.
But yes, but most of you were on the screen too, so it wasn't just me.
Yeah, that's true. We got some airtime, y'all. I also gotta say, if you haven't seen the movie, go watch, because like we up there every now and again. It's kind of fun.
You can watch it on Showtime now.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
it's on Showtime.
Awesome. Get at us.
On Showtime, yes.
Yes. Anybody else got surprise favorite moments or favorite creations or anything like that before we wrap up tonight?
I liked the professions that are in the book, and like, it's, of course I should like the stuff that we're working on, but like, I like it in the way that when I was deciding which one was my favorite, I had trouble, and I haven't decided on a favorite. Yeah. And I think that's a good thing. If you ask me about a bunch of tabletops, I can tell you what my favorite class is very easily. I still have trouble picking one from the professions now. And for a while, I was like, I should be able to have a favorite. And then I realized not being able to have one is a sign that something was done right.
Yeah.
If I can piggyback that for a second.
Yeah.
I feel the same way about the characters, because there are aspects of each character that I'm like, I love this. And then people are like, so who was your favorite to draw? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Well, do you have things you like about characters? Oh yeah, I love like Invicta's candor, and I love her attitude and her posing. I love Kosa's hair. I love that, you know, Silent 919 is steampunky. So do you have a favorite? Nah. No. That's difficult. Ask me like what dinner is. I got answers for that at least.
Yeah. I like that. Anybody else? Yeah, DJ.
One of my favorite things and things that I've gotten to do with like creation in regards to all of this is coming to the table on Wednesdays. Like, I have a general idea of the things that Kimba would say or do. General. And then Eugenio was like, oh, hey, take this. And it's just like where am I supposed to go with that? So like figuring out how Ikemba would respond to all this and do anything and to kind of be in it live with the team of amazing cast that we have. It is a treat. It is an honor, and it's untouchable. Can't get anywhere near to it. It is amazing. And knowing how many people behind the scenes made everything that we get to experience on a daily basis is amazing. So thank you all. Appreciate you for showing up. Like every one of you that's at the table, every one of you watching, it makes me better as a person to experience.
Yeah.
And also lets me know that I'm never going to be as good a descriptor as Eugenio about anything.
Stop it.
Oh my gosh. So do you know how painful it was to take out the earbuds when I was like, I know this is going to be the juiciest fucking description.
Gossip, though.
And I don't trust my ability to maintain kayfabe because it's the finale. So good.
Thank you all. That's very sweet. Yeah, it's been a joy. Thank you all so much. Cast, thank you for all of this storytelling together. Devs, thank you for the amazing world that we are continuing to create together. And devs is my word for all of us who are not actively on screen every week. It's an amazing team, and I appreciate you all so much. And all of you who, like I said, I've said it a few times, but I mean it, all of you who come and hang out with us every Wednesday, we also super appreciate you. You know, we could do this and into the void, and that's fine, and we would enjoy ourselves, but knowing that you all are here with us every week and also enjoying and giving us that energy, even over the interwebs, I very much appreciate that. We're a little after our time. That's okay. We got started a little late. I do want to give a chance for us to go through, and I think we'll keep it short. And so just social handles and a basic idea of what else you do. It doesn't have to be every activity, but just I'm a streamer, I'm a whatever, so that folks can follow us now that season 3 is closed out. And then I'll pass it over to, anyway, let's do that first. Why don't we're not going to do chaos. There's too many of us for us to do chaos. So I'm just going to go through the list and we'll do it. Well, everybody's moved around now. Can we please start with Gabe?
Hi, I'm Gabe. I appreciate all of you being here. And thank you for joining us into the Motherlands. I'm excited for you to see the stuff that we have in store because there is a whole lot happening. And it's just going to keep getting weirder. The meetings that I have no doubt. So I'm excited to see where this goes.
Great. Who is next on my screen is Vanessa. Oh, that timing. I'm so sorry.
You caught me before the lips actually hit the glass.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. most of you probably know me by now. I'm Vanessa. I also go by Pleasantly Twisted. I draw stuff and I eat on cam. That's what I do. If you go to my channel, I eat on cam regularly there too. You will never not get me to eat on cam unless someone says like it's gross, and then I will probably reevaluate it for like a day, and then I'll go back to eating on cam. So I stream 3 times a week. I do kind of polar opposite things, try hard games, JRPGs. I play hard games really well, and then I play simple games quite poorly. And I rant on Twitter a lot about Black stuff, queer stuff, accessibility. And sometimes you might just catch me, smoking someone, because if you're out of pocket, you're out of pocket. I can't control it. It's the Leo in me. I don't know how to turn it off. Yeah, that's me in a nutshell. I'm kind of a flabbergasted mess, and I drink wine and tea a lot.
All the important things. Next up is Brian.
Hi, I'm Brian, urban bohemian, pretty much everywhere. I'm a streamer. Sometimes I say stuff. A lot of times I drink stuff. And on Sundays, I co-DM with Eugenio, and I get to be at a table with him and Tanya and other lovely people for Rivals of Waterdeep.
Yes, indeed. Nestor, you are next on my screen.
Are we good? Am I coming through?
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Generic nerd at all the places, various underscores. Twitter DMs are always open for work or potential other collaborations.
Excellent. I've lost my place. Next up on our list is Leonie.
Hi everybody, I'm Leonie, also known as Glus and Gadget. I press the buttons, and I sometimes press the buttons for other people. I also make things like tree star keyrings, so if you want a tree star keyring, come hit me up. Yeah, that's it.
Great, fantastic. Michael.
Hello, my name is Michael Sinclair II. I go by Michael Crits everywhere on my Twitter, Twitch. And I am a TTRPG performer, and I'm a Magic the Gathering player and performer. That is the things that I do. Cool.
Great. DJ.
Oh, hi, I'm DJ. I play video games, I play TTRPGs, I drink, and I know things. That's pretty much it. You're awesome. Thanks for hanging out DJ night everywhere.
Love it. Abria.
Hey, I'm Abria Iyengar, your story friend on the internet. Follow me at Quiddy.
That's that. Tanya.
Hey, I'm Tanya. I keep coming back here. It's my channel. I guess I have to. You can find me with DJ over Black Dice Society, with Eugenio at Rivals. And I play games on the internet. I make games, and I do a lot of diversity consulting. So if you're playing Far Cry 6, I worked on that.
Yeah. I'm so excited that's finally out. And I'm Eugenio. You can find me on the internet at DM Jazzy Hands. I stream my podcast. I dev with these amazing folks. So come find me and hang out. Thank you all one more time. We appreciate you so very much. It has been such a pleasure to get to play season 3 with all of you, for all of you. We know that there is a question in everyone's mind, and I wish that we had more specific news for you. But at this time, we do not have any news on a season 4. We know that you're all curious. We know what we want. And as before, we will let you know as soon as we are able with any news. But the truth is, at the moment, we have none. So if this is the end of our journey for now in the Motherlands, we have left it open for all of you who will eventually get your hands on our book and be able to tell your own stories and have your own adventures in this universe. And, if we find that we'll be back with you sometime in the future, we will let you know that as soon as we possibly can. Yeah, I'm gonna skip that. So thank you all so much for hanging out. Are we rating? I missed the conversation if we are rating into someone.
You missed the conversation that didn't happen. Let's see who's on. We're normally off the air by now, so hold 1 second.
Yeah. Vamp, a little extra hard.
Vamp while I look for someone.
I shall. If we do go and raid someone, be on your best behavior and spread the Motherland's love. We appreciate you very, very much. As always, you know where to find most of us on the internet. We will be continuing to give updates about the Kickstarter as we have them. And that does include information about pre-orders and changes and things like that. As we've mentioned several times, we are still in the process of creating, and also global supply chains are effed up. Yeah. So if we don't have answers for you, then we unfortunately don't have answers, but we will give you the information that we are able to as we get it. We promise we ain't keeping y'all in the dark on purpose. Just sort of what we got. So it looks like we are going to raid Black Crystal, who is playing Bloodborne.
Are we not going to talk about the fact that Gabe's a full vampire?
No, we're just going to go hang out.
No,
this is
Black
kind of
Crystal
like natural occurring. I expect that Gabe will be a vampire today,
that's
a
not even
tomorrow, like a demigorgon the next day. Like
it's not even
really
an outfit.
Just a roulette,
it's honestly not an outfit.
I mean, it kind of is. I got a harness. But let's go to Black Crystal.
That feels like
that's just your going shopping outfit. That's a perfect,
that's true.
That feels like the perfect transition moment. Thank you all so very much. From all of us to all of you, we really appreciate you being here and going on these journeys into the Motherlands with us. We will hopefully see you again, and certainly see you around the interwebs. In the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming, y'all.
Bye. Oof, I fucked up the masquerade. I'm so sorry.
Thank you all so much. Thanks for those of you who joined us. Thanks, Cass, for sticking around.
Appreciate you.
Sorry I was late. Dinner took longer because our oven is ghetto.
And fine. More important that you ate. Honestly.
That's right. Yeah.
That's right. I gotta run. I love you all. Mwah.
Love y'all.
Good night.
Be well, everybody.
Thank you.
Y'all are amazing.
In just a moment, but thank you all so much.
Listen,
I sent the raid over.
Okay.
We're good. Like I've hit that wall because I've been up since about 8 a.m. going nonstop.